of which we think she needs to improve, needs to become better, to become like again the better version of herself. And obviously scoring that goal tonight to her is like a mental something which is very positive for her. Like it will encourage her to keep on doing what she's been doing, because she's doing extra stuff, she's doing more, she's working on her own, we were helping her. So obviously when she scores a goal, that it's a decisive goal at that point of the game, knowing that she crammed approximately 6 to 7 minutes before that. We called Murph to the bench, being ready to do that sub. I think I just shouted to her, like, just give me a call, like it's on you, and she decided to play further. And obviously when then you score that goal, like there's only, like, she can only be happy with what she did tonight. But it's also finding those outlets in the midfield was just a bit easier today. I think Kate, same with Kay, like we found a few times, we found Claudia in the build, we found Anna in the build, but also like skipping one lane and getting back to Claudia, and Anna was better than what it was the last few weeks, so happy.
It was certainly a unique game with the early injury to Paige and then Mandy as well, and in the warm-ups. Can you give us an update on them, and then just kind of what this match was like from your point of view, just with the ups and downs and the stoppages and all that?
Unseen. I think that's that's the word that I would like to describe everything. I think if only we knew that something was going on before the game, but both injuries were something that just popped up. I think Mandy had a dive where she felt it, and then Paige literally hitting the last ball, she felt something going into it. They're both having an MRI as we speak, so they both left to the hospital already, just to make sure that we make the right decisions for them. But also, like we said, we need to prepare ourselves for next week already. So that's in our thoughts. But no, obviously, I think I also told the team, like, I heard an interview, I don't know who it was anymore, talking about, well, if there is one word, it was Zoe Burns on her single, and she said, like, if there's one word that describes this team, it's resilience. I think they showed it again tonight. Like, so many changing attributes, changing situations just before a game. That's a huge thing. We're okay playing an NWSL game, but only knowing it 1 minute before you go up on the pitch. Like, those elements are very big. And then obviously you just have to be happy with the mentality that we showed. Cam Tucker, again, being a bench player, having to play 90 minutes, being benched again, coming in after 10 minutes and playing such a game. I think that's a great mentality, and I think that's the most important part of today.
I was a little sad we didn't hear Zoe's song over the speaker.
Well, I heard it enough, to be honest. For now, might come back on it in a few weeks or months, but for now, I've had enough.
Fair enough.
Coach, congratulations on the win. It's funny you say one word, and it was that resilience word, but I try to think of one word for this match this evening, and I use this in a total positive. I thought it was an aggressive display by the Royals this evening, and I think the stats kind of back that up. Some of these fouls I don't think were legitimate, but there were 17 fouls, 4 yellows, but then on the other side there were 17 shots, there were 5 on target. I don't remember how many corners, but just talk about what you saw out of the aggressive nature of the Royals, or if you agree, and just how you felt the team pursued your goals this evening.
No, I think we were just awake. I think our sports psychologist had a big discussion with them on being ready for a game. Like when you walk out of that locker room, you have to be ready, you have to be switched on. And obviously, when you're not in the game, you can put yourself into a game just by making small falls, just making sure, like, whenever I make a fall or whenever I'm making a mistake, like, let's just make sure the others are not suffering from it. And I think that was a big issue the last 2 weeks. Like, okay, you make a fall, but at that point you just switch off. And we needed people that were able to react on it, and I think we did great on that part. I think looking at falls, I think I had many discussions on the sideline. It was also the first time I was really frustrated with a lot of calls. I think a few of the yellow cards were, I think we can talk about it, but I think if you just give us the yellow card, I think there were a few occasions where we could have given the same one to them. But in the end, it's about the attitude that they showed. I think we talked about technique over attitude the last few weeks. I think this was not the best game to look at. I don't think I will be any, or I will not become any happier by rewatching the game tomorrow. But at least, like, we showed up, the attitude was great, and we transformed ourselves into a team that is able to play on the opponent's half, because we knew Louisville is not keen on pressing very high. They're comfortable getting back and then playing on that transition. So we had to make sure we were good in possession. I think those were the few elements that we did better today.
With regard to kind of the last end of that, of your comment, what are some things that need to tighten up as you head up to Portland this coming match?
just again is like the final touch. I think we get into those wide zones, we get into the attacking third. We don't have enough people in front of the goal. I think also the finishing touch when it comes to, I think Bedford had a great opportunity. I think Cam Tucker had a great opportunity. Like those are details in this league, in this kind of games. I think everyone knew like the one that scores wins the game, as easy as it is. But then you have to be decisive, you have to kill the game. And I think those finishing touches are still something we have to work on. But again, looking at the changing situations just before the game, I think they showed up and they did a great job.
And then I hate to do this to you because I always ask, but we were expecting to see Brecken in. She didn't come in tonight. Was there a concern there still? Is it pushed out a week? Is it, how is she looking?
She trained 45 minutes just before the game. Everything was looking well. I also expected her to be here, but we had a discussion. And I think, like last week, the week before, it's a health over performance thing at the moment. We know we're in a corner. We know that it's hard to get out of that corner, so we shouldn't put ourselves in a very bad position, especially when it comes to players. You're working with humans, and so I don't want to put anyone at risk. I think Mina could have been in his game. I think Brecken could have been in his game. So obviously, we're looking at a few players coming back. Same with Ali. Ali Santner was sitting in the stands. Same on that side, like just make sure when she's back she's healthy. I think that's a priority at this point. But I'm looking forward to next week. I think from what I've heard today, and I hope it doesn't change anymore, they should all be back next week. So I'm looking forward to receiving an availability report that states less than 10 people being out for a game. So I think that's the thing I'm looking out for next week.
Fingers crossed for you. And I do have to ask one more. We saw on social media, Amani was in a social media post with cleats in her hand and smiling at the camera. Can you just talk about where she's at with her progress with that horrible Achilles tear?
She's back on the pitch, that's one. She'll join the passing, she'll join a few without contact elements this week. I think at the end of the season will still be too early for her. I think we'll see Mani on the pitch again this season. But obviously just knowing that we can do a lot of conditioning with her already. We'll use the month of October, November, December to just make sure that she's there in the beginning of next season. But obviously everything is going well. I think we also had a conversation with Lauren Flynn, who had her first surgery, who is getting better now. She started PT yesterday. So again, we're staying in touch, but that's like the image that we have at the moment. A lot of injuries, people coming back, and just again making sure they're healthy when they come back. Thank you.
Well, Sean talked about, asked about Brecken. I would like to know also about Mina. How is she, and if we are going to see her on the pitch again?
You're going to see her 100%. I think Mina was very upset that she wasn't on the roster today. She was very upset. But I'm also in a way happy that we didn't do it, because if you see how the situation changes today, like we could have made a call which was not really in her favor. Because I think if you see things happening on a pitch, you see who you have to sub. I think we all would have looked at Mina and be like, well, it's your turn. I think that would have been too early for her. So I think it's a good thing that she wasn't on the roster today. She'll be back next week. We're I think 99% sure that she'll be back. She wanted to be back last week already, so she's pushing herself. Staff is helping her, but at this point she's experiencing, I think, 1 out of 10 pain. So that's a good number. I think no one will ever be at 0 out of 10, otherwise you're not performing at 100%.
I don't know. I don't think that the coaches are prepared for situations like that happened today, like the injury of Mandy and also Paige injury at the very beginning of the game. How do you feel at that moment when the doctor said that, or Mandy told you that probably I'm not going to play today? How do you feel about it, and what kind of mentality you need to have to take like quick decisions?
Well, I think it's all about competition on training. To be honest, I think if you train in an environment where you are happy with 11 players, that's where you wouldn't be able to handle these situations. I think Roque showed up the last few weeks. She's been doing great on training, but Cam as well. I think Cam played an excellent game last week as well, showing that she has capacity of doing certain things. It's more about still development. We also have to look at where she is in the phase of development for her. But in the end, it's being very competitive, and it's hard, but you do look at profiles you need, and if you have to replace Paige, we're looking at someone that is able to play in the pocket, someone that can also go out wide. I think that's more of the profile that Cam has compared with other players that we had on the bench. So in the end, it's quick decision making, but I think they're all there. And Roque played a very good Summer Cup. She showed what she's capable of, so I don't think we had any real doubts about everything. We have a new goalkeeper coach. He was very happy with her performance as well, which is also very important. She showed up. So in the end, it's about how they perceive it, not about me. I think they have to be ready, and if they feel well, they'll show up. I can do as many things as I want. It's just about how they react on stuff happening on the pitch, and they did great tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. In Spanish.
Sí. Enhorabuena con el resultado. Pero da un poco de rabia ver que el equipo, tu equipo juega muy bien, que no juega peor que nadie y sin embargo va a terminar colista en la temporada, ¿no? Digamos que ¿qué se puede hacer para que tengas, digamos, una mayor estabilidad en la plantilla, en los jugadores, en las jugadoras que tienes, etcétera, ¿no? ¿Qué puedes conseguir con eso?
So how to create more stability, or
Yes.
that's the question? Yeah. In general, just being confident on the ball. I think it was the first game where we were above the 55% of possession, and then it's about what you do with that possession. And I think we had a good conversation with Chloe Lacaze as well. We said, like, guys, we're rushing from our own third to the attacking third. Let's make sure we use the second third. Then we go up to the attacking third, and then we'll see what happens in front of the goal. And if we need to keep possession in front of the goal, let's be confident keeping the ball. And I think we had a few situations where we showed up almost around the corner flag. We were able to turn the whole pitch. We were able to swing, and at that point, it's sort of a handball game, and you need people in the box. But I do like the fact that we were able to keep the ball. I think if you played this game 4 weeks ago, I would even be more unhappy seeing the game in terms of transition. But I think it was the first game where we were not really a transition team tonight. I think that's a very important part. We killed the rhythm in the right moments. We were able to just maintain possession. And everyone knows that when you come to Utah, when you come to Salt Lake City, it's gonna hit you. Like, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel at a certain point. You're gonna feel the efforts. You're gonna feel from a physical, conditional point of view, the elevation, everything. So certainly playing at home, we just need to be more confident on the ball, and we need to make the opponent run. And I think that was the main target of today. And I think in the end, if you also look at a few of their transitions in the last 10 minutes, I think they were low on quality. I think we were able to maintain the ball, Kale, luring them out, and I think that's just who we want to be. And now it's about us making sure that we can show up in the same way against Portland next week. Thank you. Thank you all. It's my grandfather. He's doing well. He was okay. It was a tough day. It was a big travel. I think I traveled 24 hours to see him twice 10 minutes. But in the end, there's so many things that are bigger than the game. I think that was also what ownership told me. So I'm very grateful as well that they showed up as well after the game. They were like, well, we'll book the flights, we'll get everything, because it was basically a game day decision for me. So I got a call in during the night saying, like, he had a stroke, so you have to be there, you have to go, and that's what I did. And then obviously, like, the travel was worth seeing him 20 minutes, but it's also a good thing towards the team. Like, they were very comprehensive. They were there. I received, I think, more than 10 messages from players just asking, like, how is everything going? How are you? How is your grandfather? So in the end, that's also a bit of our identity, just being together and trying to make the best out of all the situations that we come across.
And he's okay now.
He should be leaving the hospital because there is a time difference. So he should be leaving the hospital in 3 hours.
That's good.
So I'll check in this night and we'll see what happens. But he's doing better, and obviously when you're at that age, he started crying when he saw me. That was the first time in my life I saw him being vulnerable. So then you see also what it means to be just around people and to enjoy being with family.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
awesome.
thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah. Hello.
So what was your reaction when you heard you were starting tonight?
A lot of emotions happened. I was just trying to stay calm as I could, but immediate reaction, obviously, looking at Mandy, making sure everything's okay, very minimal, hoping that everything is, and then just trying to be as confident as I can, do the simple things right for the team, and just being there when they need me.
And then you got the clean sheet, as Zoe mentioned. Take us through just what the match was like, up and down, a lot of stoppages, a lot of pressure too at certain moments. What did it take to get the clean sheet tonight for you guys?
Took a lot of hard work for sure. Like you said, the first half was a little long, a lot of people going down, but I think we did a pretty good job of trying to keep the ball on keep the game on our terms, and I'm super proud of the team. Things can go our way and then it can go their way. So I think we did a good job of trying to stay level-headed throughout the game, and we did a good job, finished our chance, and yeah, super proud.
Congratulations again on the clean sheet and the start. I am curious, you have the best vantage point on the field, on the pitch, to see what's going on. We just heard from Coach Jimmy saying that this team this evening did a great job at possession and killing Racing's opportunities in the middle of the pitch. What did you see that went well, just additionally, from your back line, from the mids, just controlling that middle of the pitch?
I think just confidence throughout. Sorry. I think just confidence throughout on the ball, possession-wise. We were able to keep it a good amount. I think just trying to find confidence throughout the game. Like you said, I think we did a good job. I think we want to finish more chances, but Anna had a great finish. Super proud of her. And, yeah, I mean, it couldn't have gone any better, but I think we can have stuff to improve on for sure.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that goal. How much do you see her just winding those up in training? Is this something that we should expect a lot more from Anna?
For sure. Yeah, I think her moment finally happened, and I hope that more moments happen for her. She does a great job. Defensively, she's an amazing person to have on the field. Even just in possession, whenever I have the ball, having that last person to look for, she's always there. So having her on the field is definitely very comforting, and to have her finish her goal like that, super happy for her.
This is somewhat repetitive, but there were some nervy moments in front of your goal this evening, but your defensive line came up big with some header clearances and all sorts of clearances. Just talk about your back line tonight, how they helped you out.
I mean, they're tremendous. They make things fairly easy. I think that a lot goes unseen from them, and they work so hard for so many minutes. It can be 90-plus minutes, and they work so hard getting up, getting in the offense, and then also, of course, coming in the defense and making things super easy for me. And I'm just proud of them. I know we have some things to work on, but, again, proud of what we did today.
Thinking about that, things to work on, things that could have gone better, what do you need to do to go up to Portland and get another 3 points?
Just finishing a couple of our chances. I feel like we could have been a little more clinical sometimes, but I think also in possession I could have been a little better, maybe finding the open players a little more, not forcing it up the field a little more. But overall, like any other game, happy that we got a win, but happy to get back to practice and keep working.
Enhorabuena por el partido, enhorabuena por quedarte
I was about to say,
a cero.
My dad.
¿Habla español? Sí. ¿No?
No.
Bueno. Bueno, una cuestión muy rápida. Da rabia el que el equipo no se haya podido clasificar para playoff a pesar de jugar tan bien como hemos visto esta noche.
Like the team having a kind of an uphill struggle to qualify for playoffs after a performance like tonight, like what does that do to the group?
Sorry?
Like kind of having an uphill battle to qualify for playoffs after showing a performance like the last few guys have had.
Yeah, I think it's just coming in game by game, not trying to look at the big picture. Obviously, that's where we want to end up, but just taking it minute by minute, trying to finish our goals, get 3 points every game we can. Like you said, not looking at the big picture, but obviously trying to make playoffs at the same time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rose.
Oh, my dad is so sad. I'm working on it, I promise. I'll come back and I'll learn.
Okay.
I'll know it.
Please tell me it's not Duolingo. Duolingo does not work. Duolingo does not help anybody, unless you want to know where the bathroom is.
Español, muy bien.
Yes, translate the question. So he's gonna ask the question, I'll also translate it from Spanish to English.
Okay. Pero yo respondo en español.
You can respond in Spanish, please.
Vale.
Ana, bueno, felicidades por tu gol. ¿Lo hiciste una o dos veces antes de que lo notaras? ¿Tenías ganas de hacerlo? ¿Viste la posibilidad en ese momento? Cuéntanos cómo fue, qué pasó por tu mente en el momento del gol.
So you had tried that shot a few times, 2 or 3 times before the game. What did you see open up in that specific moment to be able to take that shot?
Sí, la verdad que, como has dicho tú, lo había hecho 2 veces antes y tenía en la cabeza que si la recibía en la frontal le iba a pegar y bueno, pues por suerte la tercera ha ido hacia adentro.
Like you said, I had tried it 2 times before, but I had in my head that if I got the ball in front of the goal, I was going to shoot it. So I just shot it, and luckily the third one went in.
En el gol, la asistencia fue por parte de Claudia, otra paisana tuya. Inmediatamente después del gol, más allá de la euforia por ser el primero del partido, creo que se notó mucho la buena relación que ustedes tienen, más que todo por ser españolas. ¿Cómo te has sentido tú teniéndola a ella, sobre todo que es una gran jugadora, que tiene mucha experiencia y que le ha dado ese ambiente anímico muy bueno al equipo de las Royals desde que llegó?
So Claudia assisted your goal, and you could just see how happy you guys were after you scored that goal. Maybe because it was the first goal of the game, or because you guys are both Spanish. But what has it meant to have Claudia here, another Spanish player who's really good for the team? How has it felt to have her?
Sí, la verdad que es un gusto tenerle aquí. El poder hablar con ella y comunicarme en nuestra primera lengua pues es algo que facilita mucho las cosas, sobre todo a nivel de... Si no sale algo en el medio del campo, pues creo que es más fácil que nos entendamos entre nosotras y como tú dices, creo que es una jugadora que aporta mucho a todo el grupo, que tiene mucha experiencia, que sabe dominar el tiempo del partido y creo que eso ayuda mucho al equipo.
It's been great to have her. She's a very experienced player that brings a lot to the team, but it's also nice to be able to communicate to each other in our first language when things aren't going right in the midfield. It just makes things a lot easier.
Bueno, y última, en las redes sociales, las Royals hoy publicaron un video como parte de tu día a día antes de un partido. Mencionabas que hablas con una psicóloga antes del partido. ¿Qué tan importante es para ti el aspecto psicológico, no solamente en la vida, sino también en el fútbol, que bueno, los aspectos mentales han sido muy importantes, quizás en los últimos 5 o 10 años es un tema que se habla mucho? ¿En qué te ha ayudado a mejorar tanto como persona como futbolista? Gracias.
So today on the Royal social media, they posted a video of you, like a day in the life of a game day, and you say that you spoke to a psychologist before every game. How has that impacted you? How has that helped you as a person and as a player, and especially since that topic has been more talked about in the last 5 to 10 years?
Bueno, exactamente no hablo con ella justo antes del partido, sino que hablo pues una vez cada 2 semanas o así, y creo que es algo muy importante que todo el mundo no debería hacer, pero bueno, creo que es una herramienta muy importante de tener. Es algo que bueno, que te ayuda mucho a centrarte, a ordenar tus pensamientos. Al final esto es la máxima competición, es élite y es difícil a veces gestionar un poco las emociones que vas teniendo durante el partido y en la semana de entrenamientos. Y bueno, pues por suerte tengo una buena relación con ella, me ayuda mucho con los ejercicios que me manda y creo que es una herramienta muy importante y buena de tener.
So it's a very important tool for me, just being at an elite level, the thoughts and things that you have during a game or during the week at practice. It's really helpful to center yourself, and it's maybe not for everyone, but it has definitely helped me.
Enhorabuena, Ana, por el golazo y también por el partido. Creo que ha sido uno de los mejores partidos que has jugado tú, o por lo menos que yo te he visto en Royals. Y otra vez jugando en media cancha. ¿Cómo te estás sintiendo en esa posición?
Congratulations on your goal and that performance. That was one of your best performances that we have seen. You in a Utah Royal shirt. Again, that's in the midfield position. How has you felt transitioning from defense into the midfield?
Bueno, está siendo un trabajo del día a día. Al final son posiciones muy diferentes que requieren pues cosas diferentes, obviamente. En el medio del campo tienes que correr bastante más y es algo a lo que me estoy adaptando, pero bueno, creo que soy una jugadora que le gusta tener el balón y eso facilita las cosas, y luego durante los entrenamientos pues intento aprender de las compañeras que ya llevan más tiempo en esa posición e intento pues eso, estar siempre con los ojos bien abiertos y atenta a todo lo que me explican y me corrigen para poder implementarlo en el partido y dar al 100%.
So they're very different positions, so I'm still adjusting. There's a lot more running when you're playing in the midfield, but I'm a player that loves to have the ball, so that has facilitated a lot of it. But I'm also just at training, learning from the players that have played the position way longer than I have and being open-minded to the criticisms that the coaches have to be able to implement that, and that's helped me a lot.
Una última cosa, el equipo está jugando muy bien, pero desgraciadamente no va a llegar a playoff. ¿Qué haría falta para que este equipo pudiera ser tan competitivo como para poder alcanzar estar compitiendo por la liga?
So the team is playing really great, but obviously there's an uphill battle to get to the playoffs. How has it felt to kind of have these performances but not being able to qualify yet?
Creo que estamos en el camino correcto, estamos entrenando bien durante las semanas, estamos compitiendo cada día mejor y bueno, creo que también es un proceso a largo plazo, también de cara al año que viene. El construir unas buenas bases este año nos facilitará a la hora de competir el año que viene y sobre todo creo que la clave es ser un equipo consistente y conseguir victorias fin de semana tras fin de semana.
So we're on the right track. We're kind of focusing on getting the things right to build on to next year, but it's an important thing that we become a stable group that is consistent and able to earn 3 points weekend after weekend.
Ana, hello. Congratulations on the goal. My apology for not being able to speak any Spanish on Hispanic Heritage Night. I'm probably the only one in the room who can't. Tonight, statistically, the possession was great. You stopped a good Racing Louisville team in the midfield of the pitch. Just talk a little bit more about the growing partnership between you and Claudia and how you were able to stop them from really doing anything down that center of the pitch this evening.
Lo que quieras, ¿no? Okay. Yeah, I think every game, Claudia and me, I think we understand each other better, so that makes things easier. So yeah, today was tough because we had to run a lot, as I said, but I think, yeah, we understand each other better after every game. So yeah, we are happy for that.
What was the game plan coming into tonight to try and disrupt Racing's usual attack?
Yeah. Oh, that's a question?
Sorry,
Okay.
What was the game plan? What was your, specifically in the
Yeah.
midfield, what was your objective tonight?
Yeah, I had to help Liv in my side to cover those long balls that they tried to do. Also to be near of Claudia for those diagonal balls that they made, and then play forward, be brave with the ball, confident, and also enjoy the ball. I think that's a big point for us. We are a team that enjoy the ball, so I think we did a great job in that part today.
Yeah, I agree. And I hate to do this to you because you just closed a match, but looking forward to Portland, what do you need to do to go up there and get 3 points on the road?
A little bit of what I said. Be brave. We know what we are capable of, so just enjoy the ball, have the possession, go forward, go for the game, and then be together in the defense and be like a group, a very compact group for when they attack, and that's it.
Are we going to see more goals from you?
I hope so.
And then lastly, I was a little upset we didn't hear Zoe's song in the stadium tonight. Are you a fan of Zoe's song?
Yeah, it's a very good. Like when we first heard the song, we were like, "What? This is really Zoe's voice!" And yeah, we are so happy for her. And hopefully for the next game here, we can hear it.
And dance, right?
Yeah, I think it's a great song. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys.